Speaking of that this morning, I wonder, how many of us are quick to point out what we consider to be people's weaknesses among our family, among our friends, or our colleagues? Let me rephrase that. How much time and energy do we spend or waste focusing on others' mistakes, their failures, and their screw-ups rather than their successes? I think it's amazing, folks, that we can take Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs and make house pets out of it. They tell me we can tame a Siberian fox and treat it like a cat in your home. You know as well as I do, people enjoy training monkeys to work in commercials. We train our beasts of the field, the forest, and our feathered friends how to eat out of our hands. We take delight in that. But as a heavy hitter, the Apostle James comes behind that and says in chapter 3, verse 7, watch the big screen, every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and creature of the sea is tamed. It has been tamed by mankind. But James didn't leave us there. He continued teaching, saying, there is something, though, we have not tamed, we have not mastered, we have not conquered, and none of us have been awarded the champion's medal for controlling our tongue. That small part that makes great boast. All of us have trouble keeping this small part under control, and James says in verse 8 there, no man can tame the tongue. No man can tame the tongue. What a dilemma we are placed in. This tongue, this small part, weighs about 70 grams or about 2.5 ounces. It's 60% filled with water. It's not very big. It's a small part, says James, but yet it is very big. It makes great boast. With this small part, we can either destroy relationships or we can bring peace and harmony to any situation at the workplace, inside the church, or within inside your walls of your family. So then the question is very obvious. Why can't we tame this small beast? I submit to you it's because while our words are on the tip of our tongue, they come from the depth of our heart. I mean, isn't that what Jesus taught? It's in Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. Jesus said this, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Have you ever said to someone about somebody else, because we rarely say it about ourselves, I wonder where that came from? Can you believe he said that? Can you believe she said that? I wonder where that came from. Well, Jesus tells us where it came from. Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth will speak. James's rebuke is truer now, I believe, than ever before. He said this small part of our body can be used for both good and for evil. Chuck Swindoll says that the heart is the errand boy for every issue that fills the heart. The tongue is the errand boy for every issue that fills the heart. This small part, says James, can be used for both evil and good. Bible scholar Peter David said this. Watch the big screen. He said, on the one hand, the tongue is very religious, but on the other, it can be most profane. find it not ironic, not funny, but disappointing, hurtful, that with the same instrument we use to give praise to the Lord for an hour and a half or 2 hours on Sunday morning can be used 30 steps from the doors of this property and lay somebody out. I find it difficult how that we can take a 2-hour segment of time and have a moment to learn how to tame our tongue and then let it loose just a few seconds later when we leave the premises. Anybody else find that somewhat difficult to understand? No man, says James, can tame the tongue. So that brings all of us, doesn't it, to the edge of the cliff. I mean, if we cannot tame the tongue, this unruly small member of ours, is it always going to be destined to be a daily problem? Will it always be prone to speak evil? I have some good news this morning for you. By God's grace, the answer can be no. We are not left to our own evil devices. Right. The Lord can tame the untamable. No man can tame the tongue, but the Lord can tame the untamable. Well, how do we do that, Pastor? If I can't, but he can, how do we do that? Perhaps what you and I need to understand is the power of prayer of David. I would encourage you to memorize, highlight, boldface, underline this particular scripture and use it daily before you say your first hello or good morning. It's Psalm 141, verse 3. Watch the big screen. Set a guard over my mouth. Lord, keep watch over the doors of my lips. That's a good prayer. Set a guard over my mouth. Lord, keep a watch over the door of my lips. And then let's not forget the gifted wisdom of David's son, Solomon, who shared with us one of my wife's favorite scriptures. If you've been around her any time, you've heard her say this many times over. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings, in platters of silver. A word that's been guarded. A word that is timely. A word that is uplifting. A word that is refreshing. A word that is encouraging. A word that is sent from above. And God uses my vocal cords to make it known.